Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome Wednesday, November the 19th, 2025. We are here. This is the Overtime Drive, SEC Unfiltered's bi-weekly SEC football show, the best SEC football show on the internet. We have got a jam-packed show for you. Week number 13 is officially upon us. We'll drop our pick'em. We'll drop our best bets. Also, of course, we've got Lane Kiffin drama to discuss. We've got coaching carousel news to dive into, other things as well, news and notes, and of course, your questions and your comments, which I would say arguably is our favorite part of the show. So make sure you leave us your questions and your comments all throughout. I am Chris Phillips. He's Cole the Bear Thompson. Guys, before we get rolling, make sure, again, you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. We are creeping ever so close to that 30,000 subscriber mark. We can't do it without your love and support. Also, make sure you check out our friends over at FANDUEL because, as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FANDUEL, FANDUEL.com/SECU to get in on the action today. Get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FANDUEL.com/SECU to get going today and start betting along with yours truly and Cole the Bear Thompson. Guys, once again, this is the Overtime Drive. We're excited to be here with you. Week number 13 is officially here. Some will call it Cupcake Saturday. Many will. But as the Bear has told us many times, don't ever sleep on a slate. We got some great games this weekend. We got some intriguing storylines. And if nothing else, we got some coaching rumors for you too. And there's probably going to be some stuff resolved this weekend going into it. The names keep flying. The rumors keep coming up. Cole and I and all of you probably keep getting texts and messages and rumors and what have you. Again, we'll dive into it all, discuss it. You guys leave us your questions, your comments. We'd love to take all of those. And again, we appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Like I mentioned, I am Chris Phillips. He's Cole the Bear Thompson. Bear, what's going on, man? Appreciate you taking the time. Really excited, again, to getting some best bets with you, some pick 'em. And of course, I think the thing that most everyone wants to talk about is the whereabouts of some of these coaches.
I would love to know where Mike Norvell is going to be in 2026. I mean, absolutely, Chris. I'm so glad that we're talking about it. I'm very excited to hear about what we're going to get from Mike Locksley. I mean, if you didn't know, guys, Dave Aranda isn't safe currently down in Waco, Texas. So we're hearing coaching rumors. I mean, there's got to be like a name other than Kane Liffin, right? Like, that's got to be a possibility. By the way, if you are an SEC fan this weekend and saying, oh, well, we got cupcake games. We got the games that we don't have to care about. Like you're Ole Miss. It's bye week. You got to get your mind off of what's going on down in Oxford anyways. You're in Alabama, and you got to start looking ahead toward Auburn, and you play Eastern Illinois. You know what this weekend is? It's a great time for you to go ahead and scout the competition in the college football playoff. Oregon could be playing out Autzen. Maybe you got to see what they look like against USC. Maybe you got to see what you get in a team like BYU. Maybe you got to see what you get in a team like Ohio State. So even if this is what you would consider a underwhelming weekend in the world of the SEC, guys, still is college football. But it still is college football with an opportunity for you to learn something about the great state of this sport to know what you're getting into when it comes to college football conversation for the postseason.
Yes, certainly. I mean, Cole, listen, it is referred to as Cupcake Saturday. I would refer to it as Cupcake Saturday. We've been having these since you and I were whippersnappers, and we were watching college football back in, the early 2000s, late 2000s, whatever it might be. After a full SEC slate, you kind of get the tune-up before rivalry weekend, and I get it. It makes the SEC bias folks mad and some folks mad. Doesn't really bother me. I mean, listen, you've played a full-on SEC schedule, a full-on SEC grind. Some teams obviously aren't done. You got to fit in that, fourth non-conference game somewhere. Next year, you go to 3, though. So we may not have nearly as much of a quote-unquote Cupcake Saturday. I would almost guarantee we won't have this type of weekend. But either way, listen, it's another weekend of SEC football. We only got 2 regular season weekends left, which is crazy to think about. So let's soak it all in. A couple quick things before we get going. Number one, we're heading out to Austin. We're recording this, of course, Wednesday night. Those listening via podcast, those tuning in live, we appreciate you all recording this Wednesday night, as we always do. I will be heading out to Austin on Thursday. If you have any suggestions, anywhere we need to go, anything I need to hit, please let me know. I'll get in late Thursday, have the whole day Friday, of course, Saturday with game day. We've already been invited to a few tailgates. I really appreciate the great Texas fans. Let us know, though. Again, this is only my second ever trip to Austin, Texas. Hell, Bear, you probably got some suggestions you could throw out there. You know Austin. You know the state of Texas. You know what it's about. Keep Austin weird, baby. Anyways, let me know.
They don't say keep Austin weird, so that's already a.
They don't say keep Austin weird. I thought they do say keep Austin weird.
Hell no. Why do we say keep Austin weird? Just keep
I thought
Austin
everybody
Austin.
said that.
Just keep Austin at this point. But and keep the people that are meant to be in Austin in Austin.
Get those Californians out of there.
I'm talking to you, California. I am gladly looking directly in the camera and saying, keep you out of there.
All the Californians are trying to cramp Bear's vibe in the state of Texas. It's funny. I even asked a buddy of mine. I got a buddy here in Nashville. He's from Austin, Texas. He went to Texas State. Eat him up, by the way.
He's San Marcos boy. I love it.
Yes. And he, great dude. And I asked him, I said, man, would it be cool or doing the most if I bought a cowboy hat before my trip to Texas? He was like, it'd be doing the most.
It'd be doing the most.
Yeah. Don't do that.
If you own one, it's not that big of a deal. If
I know.
you're buying one for the trip, you're doing too much.
We agreed, though. I need to get one and get like how they burn the stuff in. Get SECU on the front of the cowboy hat, like burn.
No, you don't get on the front. You get on the side.
Okay, so see, there you go. I need some guidance. I obviously need some guidance when it comes to this. Also, quick note: Wednesday night, Oxford vlog dropping tonight. Late one, but 11 o'clock Central. Any of you Ole Miss folks, hotty toddy, you're tuned in. Vlog turned out great. Highly suggest you check it out. That being said, Bear, speaking of hotty toddy, let's get into this. Lane Kiffin intel, massive bombshell dropped tonight that I want to get into. Really exciting news. And what's interesting about this is this information comes from the LSU side of things, which you're thinking to yourself, and I guess I didn't really reference, it's exciting news for Hottie Toddy. Why would an LSU guy have exciting news for Hottie Toddy? Well, again, there's information coming from all over the place, right? People have different connections. People say different things. We've seen stuff from the Ole Miss side about they believe certain guys are going here, going there. Like everybody's saying stuff. And this thing's changing by the hour. I was tuning into you guys, you and TJ and all them, changing by the hour, right? We're all getting information.
It's changed 5 times in the last 30 minutes.
Exactly. The information that I got about 45 minutes ago, I'll say this, and this guy that gave me the information, I trust very, very much. Bear, the word on the street right now is that Lane Kiffin and the athletic director at Ole Miss, that being one Mr. Keith Carter, they have a meeting on Friday to discuss the commitment to NIL in which they are going to give him at Ole Miss. And the rumored number is $40 million, which would be, I would imagine, if not the most, damn near the most in all of college football. I'm hearing it is more than LSU was promising to give him. So that's got to make you excited, because here's the thing. You said this a couple of days ago, and I don't disagree with it. We're all trying to poke holes in everyone's logic, I think, right? We're all trying to be ahead of it. But you said nobody knows what Lane Kiffin's going to do, including Lane Kiffin. I don't think that's totally wrong, but it's starting to make me think. I think Lane does know what he deep down wants to do.
Oh, yeah.
I think he wants to stay. I do. I think he wants to stay. I think that, if you're taking this long, at least the way I operate, if it's not an immediate yes, it's a hell no. If you have to think this long about it, it's obviously not that much of a no-brainer. So I give kudos to Ole Miss if this is, I believe it's an actual thing. I give kudos to Ole Miss for getting this together. They're obviously putting their money where their mouth is. Again, the rumor is meeting on Friday, Keith Carter, Lane Kiffin, the discussion about a $40 million NIL commitment. Because the thing that Lane Kiffin cares about, I don't think it's his salary as much as it is what the commitment is to him getting the best possible roster and winning at the highest level. He's already said that the money will not make the decision for him, but the money for his players and the money for his staff, I think, is much more important than the money for him.
Right.
So, with that being said, does it guarantee anything? Not necessarily. Could this change by the morning? Hell, it probably will. At this rate, it probably will. But that's the latest from the Ole Miss side of things. I've seen more and more and more momentum building that maybe he is going to return to Oxford. I'm still a little skeptical, but certainly this helps the cause because, like I've said, he's going to get paid no matter what. But his players getting paid, his staff getting paid, him being put in the best possible position to compete at the highest level, which they're already doing, taking it even to the next level. Because here's the thing. LSU's got a bigger stadium. Florida's got a bigger stadium. They both have more tradition. You could just start listing all these things. But Lane Kiffin has made it cool to be a Rebel. The bottom line, he's made it cool to be there. So they can bring in the best players.
He's made it a priority. He's made it to where you look at Ole Miss differently.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's made it cool to go to Oxford. Like it's you don't have to go to LSU. You don't have to go to Florida. So that is the latest coming from that camp. And again, if it was coming from the Ole Miss side, it would be from someone I trust. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it. But the fact it's coming from the LSU side to me says a lot that they are willing to put this out there. Like, because NIL is apparently going to be the offer that LSU's putting together. That's going to be in his contract. Now, is it going to be in his contract at Ole Miss? I don't know all those details, but the number Ole Miss is putting together is greater than the one LSU was going to give him, and that was like their ace in the hole. So, again, we'll see what it means. When do we have a decision? The other key part of this, by the way, Bear, I almost forgot to get to this. The other key part is this. From what it sounds like to me, and maybe some of this is speculation, the rumors came out about an ultimatum, decision date, whatever. Lane Kiffin goes on Pat McAfee. I don't know about any ultimatum. There ain't no ultimatum out there. He goes on his teleconference. They say, are you going to be coaching next week? And he said, why wouldn't I be coaching? What do you mean? I'm going to be coaching.
Great interview, by the way. If you can go find the audio for it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, delivered. Absolutely delivered. What it feels like from the folks I've talked to is Ole Miss gave him an ultimatum and Lane Kiffin called their bluff on it and said, bullshit, you're not going to put me on an ultimatum. And so now Ole Miss is starting to get a little more serious with some of these talks. Not that they weren't before, but like things are actually kind of in motion now. But Lane called their bluff on this ultimatum thing. I mean, like if you really think about it, like, again, what were they going to do? Suspend him? They're not going to fire him. So,
well, if you fire him, you have to fire him and then pay him.
Exactly. So you're not going to do that. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. On the other side, I could say it'd be crazy for Lane not to coach the playoff. It'd be career suicide, if you want to be honest. Things are in motion in Oxford. Again, we'll see things change. We're going to talk about this Sumrall thing in a second because this plays in part to what's going on. So, somebody's getting played for a fool. That's for damn sure. More than one side.
I'll tell you that.
No. I'm talking about the Kiffin thing. I'm not talking about Sumrall.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, somebody in this Kiffin sweepstakes is getting played for a fool. I don't know who it is, but if you're an Ole Miss fan, I think tonight you got some good news on this front.
Here's what I would say. I believe at this point in his career, Lane wants to care about the legacy more than anything else. His legacy as a coach at a place like Ole Miss, that he has been able to build to the highest standard and turn it into a program of prominence. But there is, whether or not you want to believe it, there is a level of what you can do to win at a place like Ole Miss. You know that you don't have those limitations at LSU. You don't have those limitations at Florida. But the whole thing that I keep coming back to is I think Lane wants to be at Ole Miss because he wants to be the first. You brought this up. I brought this up. You're another name at LSU. Nick won a championship. Ed won a championship. Les won a championship. You're just another name that wins a championship there. The very first one. That's it. You're not the first. You go to Florida. All you are is just Steve Spurrier's back, like heir apparent. You're the next Steve Spurrier, but you're not Steve. You're not going to be the first to win a title. You're not going to be the first to bring your team to national prominence, number one record. You're not doing that. You can do that at Ole Miss. And Ole Miss at this point has come together and said, if all this is true, look, bottom line, dude, we want to give you the opportunity to create your own Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, Bo Schembechler story. We want to put you in that position where when we look back 40 or 50 years from now, this is who you are. Like, we're talking about Ole Miss because of you. Here's the money to do it now. Here's where we are. Take it, run with it, go with it, do what you got to do. And if that's going to be the offer, that might send him over the edge. Because I constantly think that there is a certain ceiling when it comes to Ole Miss, just enough to where you have to have those conversations. Well, Florida can offer me this and LSU can offer me this. If you break the ceiling and you create an unknown, unlimited future, then why would you want to go anywhere else when everything else is already perfect?
I think it's all fair, valid points, man. Again, it's ever changing. I mean, it's all and it's a lot of it's he said, she said. Certainly, again, I don't tout myself as an insider by any means. I thankfully have a lot of people that want to tell me stuff and what's going on. I mean, even earlier today, talking to some folks that we were with in Oxford over the weekend, they couldn't tell me as much as they knew. I think there's some frustration, at least earlier today, and hell, we've heard it all throughout the week. There's some frustration in the building with what's going on, and we've talked about it. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. People want answers. They want to know where they're going to be working next year. Players want to know who they're going to be playing for. Coaches want to know if somebody leaves, what position are they going to be in? So I get it. And maybe we're going to start to get some answers very soon. Bear, I want to get into some of these questions and comments, by the way, because we got a lot more than I realized. Miss Terry's Bathwater, of course, is in the chat. Since Harrison Bailey transferred to Florida, I knew it was inevitable he'd end up having his legacy game against us. I'm still not mentally prepared. Miss Terry's Bathwater, I promise we're going to get into Florida, Tennessee here a little bit later. Have Florida start lineups out, and they're still going to smack us. See, that's the Tennessee PTSD right there.
Yep.
David Chambers, Ole Miss guy here, finding all this nonsense with the Lane soap opera. Humorous tonight. He also says Florida's a dog shit team, begging our coach to come save them. Tennessee should put 50 on them easily.
And watch them lose by 40.
Hottie toddy, he also says, by the way. David, Lane to LSU in the next 72 hours. Bookmark it. Yeah, there's a lot of bookmarks out there, I can assure you. Let's see. Our girl Kelsey's in the chat. Take it easy on the Cali girls, she says.
I'm not crapping on California people. I'm just saying stay out of my state.
You kind of were.
I'm saying stay out of Austin. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, Kelsey's an LA girl. So
you are wonderful. I love San Diego. I think San Francisco is awesome. I love the wine country. Stay there. Keep staying there. Don't come to my neck of the woods. Okay. Let me come visit. I'll do that. It's totally fine.
Cole is a Houston man. He's got some opinions on the Cali folk. So Jesse says Oregon is the biggest mystery to me in the country. I think they're a little hollow, but they went to Iowa and won in the mud. Iowa's tough. I still walked away from that not sure about.
It's the best game of the weekend far away in college football.
Oregon, USC?
Far and away, I think so. And you're going to learn a lot about both these teams because I think I told you this earlier. I don't think that Oregon has a resume right now that's good enough to get them in the college football playoff at 10-2. With how many other teams are going to be fighting in that 10-win range, I don't think Oregon has the resume that will back it on up. USC will have a better resume because they'll have a head-to-head win and a win over Michigan. And Michigan could win this weekend, and they could beat Ohio State, and they're now 10-2. So that, to me, is such an iconic game because of what it could mean for the playoff standings.
Yeah, if Oregon loses another one, I don't think a 2-loss Oregon will get in. Hey, look at the drop Bama had if they lost one game. So
yeah,
with their schedule. Miss Terry's Bathwater says if Lane does leave, why do people think Ole Miss is going to keep the success they've had under him? Is there some track record I'm unaware of?
They have money.
I think I'll tell you this though, Bear, on this note. I think what you have to keep in mind, because I'm a guy that I like to refer to history. I think it's important. I think history doesn't define you, but it gives a good indicator of what very well may happen. But in the new era of college football, I don't know that leaning on the titles you won in the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and I don't know, Barry, even the early 2000s, like it's a different game now. So
it's nice to have. It's not a selling point.
Right. I mean, it's proof of concept. But like, think of how silly college football is. Like, thank goodness the national titles that each school has isn't the end all be all, because you know how silly how many national titles you've won in college football is? Auburn won 2 as of last year, and now they've won 9.
Yep.
Make that make sense. So, like, how can it be the end all be all? Why wouldn't you as Ole Miss just start claiming titles that ain't even – who's going to stop you from claiming titles? You know? If that's the end all be all, we'll just make up a natty we won. I mean, other teams do it. And they actually have won natties in like the late 50s, early 60s, I believe it was. So, hell, they've won it. I mean, no disrespect to our folks in College Station. They've won more recently than Texas A&M. So, I'm just saying. I mean, if that's the end-all, be-all, then it's a different game now, man. It's just a totally different game. So
why are you claiming 9 national titles? I mean, impotence is a very big thing that people care about down at Auburn. So, I mean, you got to compensate for something.
We could go off on a whole tangent on this. That's probably the most embarrassing thing in college football.
It still is, in my opinion.
Claiming the extra 7's one thing. Putting it in the stadium with the date
is another.
That's sad.
So for me, here's what it comes down to for Ole Miss. If Ole Miss has all this money to go spend and pay for Lane Kiffin to be the next head coach, long-term there, lock him on it. Why not use 80% of that to bring in a really good coach, give him those same resources, and then put his team in a position where they can win instantaneously? Now, the beauty of what Lane's done, that I think that we got to give credit to, that we haven't seen at Auburn because Hugh Freeze sucked at doing this, but Lane hasn't. It's finding the right talent, developing it properly, and making sure it's better when it goes to the NFL. That's what he's done in the transfer portal that has been such a blessing in disguise. So if you're able to find a coach that knows how to self-evaluate talent, know what he wants in the transfer portal, know what he wants when it comes to recruiting, and shows you that he knows how to develop said talent, you give him the resources, they're not going to slow down. Money's a big deal. The difference between a lot of teams right now that spend money and don't, I mean, that spend money and find results, that spend money that don't, it's the coach that's able to find the right talent in the portal and turn them out and make them a better player. And Lane's been a master at that. And so that's going to be the sentiment here, is that if you give a guy like Jon Sumrall at Ole Miss a lot of money, or Eric Morris from UNT, a lot of money to bring in his people, and he knows what he's looking for in terms of self-evaluation talent, if it all hits, they're going to be a 10-win team once again. Because if you spent the money and the right resources to be able to put themselves in a position where they can easily get right back to square one. And I think that that's another thing that Lane continues to talk about. What Lane hasn't done at any point during this entire spectrum is bring up what his success has been. He's talked about the player success. He's talked about the culture success. He's talked about the fan base success and how all of it's piled on into where Ole Miss is right now. And I'll tell you, the thing that is really interesting to me, whether or not Lane sticks around, he's making a hell of a sales pitch for his replacement. Like, if you do X, Y, and Z, the players, the talent, the resources, what we got here, you can win because I won here. Like, it's a pretty good way to go ahead and make this a selling point of, hey, if you get a phone call from Keith Carter, I probably would go ahead and take that.
Going to be interesting, Bear. Continuing with some of the comments. Our girl Sierra Clark, SECT, new episode dropping tomorrow, says Lane Kiffin is the bachelor of the SEC. Did you see the picture that the AI picture she created with the Lane Kiffin holding the rose? And
of course I did. Looks fantastic.
LSU, Florida, and Ole Miss all awaiting the decision. Let's see. We'll take one more. Manny, SECU hat, SECunfiltered.store. Let me know if you need the link. We will drop you a hat, or drop you the link to the hat, I should say. Sierra also said, I don't understand the argument of people saying he can't win at Ole Miss. He's proven he can. Recruiting isn't an issue for him, clearly, and I'm a diehard Florida fan. So, yeah, I mean, I'd agree he can win at the highest level. Bear, let's keep it moving. Let's get into this Jon Sumrall thing. So, in case you all missed it, Tulane head coach Jon Sumrall, very, very hot name right now. There was a report today that Jon Sumrall in Florida had an interview. Interesting.
Or
right?
A scheduled interview.
A what interview?
Scheduled interview.
A scheduled interview.
Yeah.
They had an interview. Scheduled interview. Yeah, they were supposed to have an interview. There was an interview on the books. Put it that way. There's an interview on the books. About 2 hours later, a couple hours.
I think it was like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't even 3 hours.
Hour plus. Very, very quickly, that interview is canceled. And Jon Sumrall's name removed by him from the coaching search. He then tweets later tonight, and I'm paraphrasing. I could pull up the tweet, but what did he say? Like, the only meeting I'm worried about today, something like that. And he's in this quarterback room. Bear, what does it mean? What
Most
does it
important
mean?
meeting I have all week. Wednesday's QB night at On3 Sports.
Add on 3 sports. He added on 3.
On second thought, Wednesday meeting with the Spears might be just as important at On3.
And he tagged them again.
RMFW.
So, from your vantage point, what does it mean?
I think it's a pretty good way of selling to any athletic director in the SEC. I'm here until at the end of the line. Because I'll tell you what, I think that Jon Sumrall is taking a job in the SEC this offseason. It could be LSU, could be Florida, could be Auburn, could be Ole Miss, could be Arkansas. It could be any one of these jobs. I think it's a sign of confidence. Guys, right now, my entire focus is on winning the AAC title, making the college football playoff, and running it through until we're eliminated. I think that's what it was. And honestly, I think that the reason they interviewed Jon Sumrall or want to interview Jon Sumrall down in Florida is because they want to put pressure on Lane Kiffin to go ahead and make a decision. He's not a first candidate. He's not a second candidate. He is a candidate that if we interview him, hey, Lane, we're thinking about moving without you. And I guarantee you that the reason why that got out is because Jimmy Sexton made sure it got out. So that way Lane can go, guys, you can interview whoever the hell you want. I'm not gonna be involved in this. Okay. Well, now Scott Strickland's car has been pulled. Like, Scott Strickland, it's so funny. There are always private meetings that go on in the world of college football. I can tell you, there have been interviews that have already occurred that you know nothing about. And Scott Strickland can't even do this part right. So now it gets reported. Everyone's upset. And then Jon Sumrall is like, I don't need to be the whipping boy in all of this. I got a game to prepare for this weekend. Screw it. I'm out of the conversation. Pull my name. I'm done. Like, you're not going to embarrass me like that on national TV and put me in a position of where now my team is nervous when we're trying to go to the playoff. You're not going to do that to me, and it's going to get out in the public eye. I'm not doing this anymore. So the second that it got reported, they were like, we're done.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're the I don't know. It kind of feels like when you're out and you see you're out with a group of friends and there's a girl you like in the group and she's not giving you the attention you want her to give her, and this could be vice versa, by the way. The person she's not giving you the attention you want her to give her. And so you start talking to somebody else to try to make them jealous, and then it's it's not working, and then you're like, okay, never mind. I really wasn't interested in you to begin with. That's kind of like the Jon Sumrall thing, where again, we know Florida's options are A, B, and C, Kiffin. Like, we know that. They're selling out for him, as are all these teams. They all are. So I don't look very deeply into it. I never thought Jon Sumrall was going to be a Gator. I mean, it sounds more and more like he's either going to go to Auburn or he will go to Ole Miss if Lane leaves. I think one of those two is most likely. I mean, we got an update today, just throwing this out there, by the way, that the most likely landing destinations, Eric Morris at Arkansas feels pretty good. Here's the interesting one. The one I've seen on the timeline and just from people I've talked to, Eli Drinkwitz potentially at LSU if they don't get Kiffin. Cole, if LSU doesn't, I tweeted this today that the fallout from the fan bases that don't get him is going to be cinema. But I was specifically talking about LSU. If LSU doesn't get Lane Kiffin, Jeff Landry might have to change his identity. Like, he might have to go into, what is it called, like in The Sopranos when they got you off the hook, where they had to transport you to a different place and
program.
The witness protection program?
Yeah, witness protection program.
Literally might have to put Jeff Landry in the witness protection program.
Whole new name, identity.
I'm telling you,
have
dude,
to go ahead and get him a fake passport, everything.
He sure as hell can kiss his campaigning career, like his political career in that state, goodbye. He ain't winning the next election. So, and which it's weird and funny enough. I posted that about Eli Drinkwitz tonight, Bear, about, if Drinkwitz is the guy instead of Kiffin, here's how LSU fans react. Friend of the show and friend of ours, Jacob Hester, replied, said, I don't get why people don't like Eli Drinkwitz.
I do not get it at all.
I don't get it either. But every fan I've talked to, I talked directly to Florida fans over the weekend. They were disgusted by the idea of Eli Drinkwitz. Disgusted by it. So, I think SEC fans will acknowledge he's a good coach, but they don't want him to be their coach. And you know what it is? It goes back to the Mizzou disrespect. Not to take this down a whole other path, but
we might as well.
Look, here we go. This is Sierra over the weekend. Dorkwitz. This is there's no love for Drink. There's no love for Drink with these other SEC fan bases. I think he's a good football coach. Here's the thing. If you're gonna praise Lane, for he's done so much more with less at Ole Miss, if he can do this at Ole Miss, then he can do this at LSU in Florida. What about Drinkwitz at Missouri? All due respect to Mizzou now. All due respect. But what are we talking about? So I don't know. We'll see. Again, not everybody can hire Lane Kiffin, so somebody might have to go with Drink.
No, that's just kind of the case. I'll tell you what. You want to be able to win back the people of the state of Louisiana if you're Jeff Landry. Tell them to give the exact same offer that you were going to give to Lane Kiffin and Kenny Dillingham and promise that you're bringing Sam Levitt with them. That's probably the only way. And to be completely transparent, I love Kenny Dillingham, and I really do respect Eli Drinkwitz. I don't know if I'm going to see that big of a drop-off in terms of the coaching metrics between the two. But I can tell you in the public eye, everyone will say, Kenny Dillingham over Drink, bring in the quarterback, make sure that you go bring in a few other players with you. You bring in a couple of other names that are really, really prominent. Give them the money. We'll be content with that Lane. You get them a Drink, they're going to lose their mind out in Baton Rouge. They're going to lose everything. We settled for Drink and are paying him how much? How much is he getting in NIL to go up against sub 500 teams in the SEC? That's how much we're paying? And to be completely fair, the other thing that's really big about this dude, everyone just feels like a downer compared to Lane Kiffin. It's you expected a 5-course dinner with prime rib, and now you're getting Jack in the Box. That's what it feels like. You're promised one thing, and now you're sitting in your tux, and you're eating a bunch of curly fries in your car, just shoveling down your gullet. It's this isn't what I signed up for. It's not fair to Drink. It's not fair. It's not fair to Jack in the Box. I think Jack in the Box is great, but it is what it is.
I want to read this comment. JPat86. It's not about disrespecting Mizzou. Drink is a douche. He's a tool. So is Lane, but Lane has swag.
So what? What?
I love that. They're both douchebags, but one has swag and the other one doesn't.
Have you seen Drink's shoe game? I'm sorry. It's pretty legit. That's about as much swag as you're going to see.
Also, David says Jack in the Box is mid, by the way.
Exactly. And
I haven't had Jack in the Box in years.
Okay, well, switch it out with any other fast food joint compared to a freaking 5-course prime rib dinner. Lane's the 5-course prime rib, and you get Mickey D's.
Fair enough. Bear, let's take this one. Plain says, I don't think Auburn is an attractive job. A coach should clearly think twice about going there.
Auburn's a very attractive job.
You think so? I think it's a hard job, dude.
It is. But it's a very attractive
isn't it
job.
Interesting how Auburn's a notable big time program. What would you call that? Top 15 job? Top 10 job?
I would say top 12.
And bro, we're not even talking about it. We're not even remotely talking about it.
But to be fair, what's another job at the national level that is a top 12 job that we're not talking about? Penn State. Because because Penn State right now is not linked to Lane Kiffin.
Right.
And everything that we're doing is all Kiffin. So that's the thing, is that Yeah, I very, very much would love nothing more than to see Auburn bring in a really good coach. Because I'll be completely transparent. I like when Auburn is good for is good in college football because it adds another validity to the SEC. It's another tough matchup. It's for Georgia, another tough matchup for Alabama. But the problem is that it is challenging. It's extremely challenging. Now, again, to the public eye, you think it's a terrible job because if you can't win against Georgia, you can't win against Alabama.
To the point, Bear, I want to throw more against your argument. Jesse says Auburn's not an attractive job. You're immediately behind the 8 ball with 4 to 5 teams ahead of you in the SEC. It's a top 25 job in the country, but it's not a top 5 job in their own conference.
Well, to be fair, 5 of the top 10 jobs in the SEC, 5 of the top 10 jobs in college football are top SEC jobs. So already that negates the argument. So we put them at 12. That's number 6 or number 7. If you want to argue top 15, I'd listen to it. But here's the thing. The beauty about a job like Auburn is if you don't win there, number one, they pay you a lot of money and then they pay you a lot of money to go away. If you end up winning there and you end up turning the culture around and bringing a prominent level of success to the school, they keep paying you a lot of money. But then if you don't do that, they're going to pay you a lot of money to go away so they can hit reset. I can tell you part of the reason why we saw Gus Malzahn go to UCF when they were a G5 school was because he didn't need the money. He just really wanted to keep coaching. Remember, guys, he had the largest buyout at the time in college football history. And then he's like, screw it, I'll just go down to UCF and I'll still keep coaching. And Auburn will pay me to coach at UCF. Cool. But if you can turn the program around, you can turn the way that we view the program around, I think that it's an incredible job if run properly. But Auburn can't be run properly because the people behind closed doors that are pushing all the buttons and not letting the coach actually run the business the way he should. That's what it is. I'm sorry. To me, that's what it is. If you just said, here, we're going to give you the keys to the program, run it the way you want, and then until we have a reason to where we can't actually go ahead and fight back with you, then you do it your way. You would see Auburn, I think, be in the college football playoff within 3 years. But there's so many other things that when it comes to we are all holier than thou mentality. And then there are so many things when it comes to you got to go ahead and shake hands and kiss these babies and you got to go steer away from these people. All that stuff. It makes Auburn a much more tougher job than it needs to be. Plus, again, you also have to recruit against Georgia. You got to recruit against Alabama. Now you got to recruit against Tennessee for what they're able to accomplish. It's tough, but with the right guy at the helm, I think it's a very, very good job. I think it's no worse than top 15 in the country.
Yeah, from what I've heard from people in the industry, a lot of red tape at Auburn. A lot of red tape behind closed doors of what you can and can't do as a coach. They're going to have to get rid of that red tape. They won't ever want to get the right guy in there and win big. I agree with you.
I'll tell you right now, the second they get rid of that red tape, they will win a championship in the next 5 years.
Yeah, you got to let a guy come in there and do it, though. Hey, I was also told even that, and you can guess who told me this, but that there was some red tape when Georgia was trying to hire Kirby. And what did Kirby say? You going to let me run this program my way or I'm not going to run it at all? And sure enough, they dropped it. They let him do it. And, hey, look what happened.
I'll tell you what, Jon Sumrall today being as prominent as he was, making sure that it was clear. I view New Orleans as a dream location. I'm John Cohen. I don't need to see much else. I know what you're proving on the field. I'm going to give you the resources. You're going to be bought into our program forever. And if you're bought into our program, if you can turn us into Pat Dye 2.0, just that level, dude, we're going to the playoff every 3 years. Guaranteed. Just write a check and go ahead and cash that one in.
Bear, let's shout out our guy, Rick, 1999 super chat. Rick, you're the man. Says late in the show, gig 'em, beat the hell out of Texas. They're already looking ahead to the rivalry weekend. Of course, I'd expect nothing less. Rick, we appreciate you. It's going to be a fun one down in Austin on Black Friday. Bear, that being said, we'll continue with the questions, with the comments. We got best bets to get into, pick them, because believe it or not, we do have games this weekend. I know that's hard to believe, but there are football games this weekend. That being said, guys, let's lock in some best bets. Without further ado, here we go. Bear sitting at 31-29. I'm at 32-28. Bear, what's your big board at? Your picks?
We are at going into week 13.
For those that don't know, Bears been crushing all season. So
107.68.
Still a damn good record.
Last week was our first losing week in 5 weeks.
Yeah, I had a losing week last week too.
What's called Red River was the last time I had a losing week.
I think I went 1-4 last week. I'm pretty sure.
1-4, 2-3.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was a losing week, no doubt. But either way, we still sit above 500. Bear feels good about his picks. I feel good about my picks. Here's the crazy thing. Unless I'm missing something, Bear, all of our we do not have a same pick here. Nope. You and I both went completely the other way from each other with our picks. So without further ado, Bear, I'll give you the honors and let you start with your first pick, my friend.
I'll start with the over-under game in the Oklahoma-Missouri matchup. And here's the thing. When you think that you know something about a game and you have a gut intuition that it's ending up to not be what the betting odds say, go against it. Everyone's saying this is going to be a low-scoring affair. Everyone is saying that this is going to come down to both defenses having great stops. Everyone's saying that it's going to come down to John Mateer versus Ahmad Hardy offensively. I think that there's got to be a slip-up part. Whether that be Oklahoma's offense finds that identity at the end of the year to make them one of the most dangerous teams going into the college football playoff, or you get back Bo Pabula, you get back Ahmad Hardy, and they're able to start putting up incredible numbers and really put themselves in a position where they can drive into the end zone. So 42.5, I mean, what are we talking about? 28-24, I hit the over on that standpoint. I could see easily 4 touchdowns being scored against Mizzou's defense. I can easily see 2 touchdowns and 3 touchdowns being scored against Oklahoma's defense. Therefore, go ahead and take the over in this matchup. Everyone is picking the under. Steer away from the skid. Go ahead and pick the over.
Bear, I'm going to go to the game that I'm going to be at this weekend in Austin, Texas, that being Texas and Arkansas. Give me the Hogs plus 8.5. Dude, if there's one thing Arkansas has perfected this season, it is losing close. They lose close every single week. I think there's a little bit of burn left in that cigarette that is Taylor Green. Just a little bit. Just enough. Just enough to keep this thing within a 1-score game. Hogs plus 8.5. Texas coming off the really, really tough emotional game in Athens. Maybe a little bit of a hangover. We're going to find out a lot about them, the way they bounce. Hey, playoff hopes are gone. How fired up is Texas to play? What's the crowd like? We'll see. I think Hogs, I don't know that they win, but I think they keep it within a score. Love Arkansas plus 8.5.
Okay, so I'll go down to Austin and I'll just go ahead and say we are head to head. And you know what? Damn right we are, because I'm sorry. I extinguished the drunk 2 a.m. cigarette that was Taylor Green.
He finally put it out. He finally put it out.
I couldn't do it anymore. I am stone cold sober. I have gone cold turkey on Arkansas finding a way to win a football game. I think that Texas really wants this one. I don't think it's because of they know that they can make a run to the playoff. I think it's more so just to prove to themselves we can get back to playing the version of football that we're so accustomed to. Guys, it's really not that hard. Play fundamental football, and you should beat Arkansas. Because Arkansas, for as much penalized as they are, you're worse than them in that category. You're far worse than them in that category. So just get back to playing the way that you know how to end up delivering on Saturdays underneath Steve Sarkisian. There's another report saying that he's going to go to the NFL. He had to go make another statement. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and say, give me the horns. Get back on track. I think that 8.5 is a little bit rich. But you know what? Sometimes you got to throw money down and just hope that, pray to God, it ends up sticking.
Bear, you're not sober. You're sipping on that Pavia Patron.
Oh, I am beyond. Oh, well, God bless. I have Pavia between my toes if we want to go that far. That's where we are when it comes to Pavia success.
I don't even know where else Pavia is in your life, Bear. Really
yeah, he's never.
Here's a fun one for you, Cole. I'm going to take you to Columbia, South Carolina. A lot of Gamecock fans think that they're going to lose this football game this weekend. Not to spoil our pick 'em, I don't think South Carolina is going to lose it because, as Lute Holtz once said, the great Lute Holtz, things are never as good as they seem. Things are never as bad as they seem. However, I want to take you back, Bear, to 2015 I'll never forget the feeling I had walking to Williams-Brice Stadium when South Carolina played the Citadel. Do you know what happened that Saturday, Bear? Do you recall?
Yeah,
South Carolina lost to the Citadel. Now, before that game, I bet on that game. I'll never forget it as long as I shall live. South Carolina was a 21.5-point favorite in that game going in. And I looked at my buddy and I told him, I said, dude, I think Carolina's going to win, but this Carolina team isn't 22 or more points better than anybody right now. Sure enough, they lost. I don't think South Carolina loses, but Bear, I don't think this South Carolina team is 24 points better than anyone right now. They probably win this game. They probably win it by 17 or 20, and it's ugly. But I love Coastal on the plus 23.5. I love Coastal Carolina to cover here. I love it. And you know how I feel about Coastal. You do. Everybody knows how I feel about Coastal. From if you paid attention at all during baseball season. So this took a lot for me to take them, but I think it's the right pick. I think the Chants cover here. South Carolina is not 24 points better than anybody right now.
They are not 24 points better than anybody right now. But I also don't think that they're going to lose. I think this is going to be a very back and forth game. I think it's going to be a very low scoring affair. You punt. No, we punt. Now you punt. Now we're going to get a pick six. Now we're going to score a touchdown. Now you punt. Then we punt. Then you get a field goal. Then we punt. Then you get another field goal. Then we punt. Then you punt. Then we get a touchdown. And that's the end of the game. And so it's a very low scoring affair. Not a lot of points to be had. You're going to give me 50.5. Yeah, I'm going to take the under. More than happy to go ahead and say, even if Lenore Sellers and company get to steer the ship back right, it's going to be something like 23-14, 24-10. Very much on the under standpoint.
I think the streak is still alive, Bear, unless I'm wrong. You could correct me here. And I guess I could look it up myself really quickly. I know going into last week, South Carolina had, it looks like they did eclipse it. Yeah, first time all season last week, they eclipsed over 350 yards of total offense in a game. They had 388, but 388's their tops. That's their tops. So over under 388. That'd be a good one to keep an eye on for that game for South Carolina. Bear, I want to go to that game down in Norman. You talked about it. You took the over in it. I like Oklahoma minus 7.5 against Mizzou. It does sound like I saw some Mizzou stuff today. I think Bo Prabula is going to give it a run. I do think he's going to play. I don't care. I think Oklahoma's defense, I think whether it's a banged up Bo Prabula or it's Zollers or whoever, I think they're going to be all over him. I think the offense is going to be much better than it has been. I think this Oklahoma defense continue the momentum, forcing turnovers. I think they win this game. I think they win it by double digits against MIZ, get some revenge for last year. They got the playoff in their sights. They know what they got to do. I think Oklahoma takes care of the business and covers the 7.5 number.
I will go to Lexington, Kentucky, where they are getting on a bus to go to Nashville, Tennessee, where you are living. And so that, my friends, is where we actually going to go. As much as I do believe that we are going to see Diego Pavia end his tenure at First Bank Stadium on a high note, I still think this is just going to be a low-scoring affair. I don't think that you're going to see Vanderbilt have this explosive offensive attack that allows them to put up massive points. And I think that you will see Kentucky go back to being more of what we've noticed and come accustomed to seeing with Kentucky when they faced off against Texas, when they faced off against Toledo, when they faced off against Tennessee. Like, I think that's what we're going to get. And so when you throw that all together, that, my friends, is why you take the under in this game. You think that Vanderbilt wins. You think that Vanderbilt maybe even covers. But you go ahead and you play the under, make it a safe bet, something like 28-7 or 21-14. That might be enough. All fine.
Another shout out for our guy, Rick, with another super chat. Rick, thank you, sir. He says only 17 likes, ladies and gents. Smash the like. Smash the like, says Rick. Damn it, do it.
Damn it.
Do it.
We're live for you. You should
do it.
Smash it.
What did Shia LaBeouf? Do it. Do it. Just smash the like button. Thank you, Rick. We appreciate it. Hey, gig 'em just for you. Gig 'em just for you. Next pick, I'll go Florida. Let's go to Gainesville, Florida. We're head-to-head yet again. Gators. Only Gators get out alive, especially when they're playing the Tennessee Vols in the Swamp. I got to see it. I got to see Tennessee go down there and get it done. Tennessee's due for that signature loss on the road that they have every year. I know Miss Terry's bathwater is going to be pissed, but I love the Gators plus 3.5. I do. Florida is going to treat this game, coach or no coach, like it's their Super Bowl. They are. They're going to throw they're banged up. They don't even have a full roster. I don't even know who the hell's playing hardly. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I fully expect Tennessee to come out and piss down their leg because it's the Florida Gators in the Swamp. These kids weren't even born when Tennessee won their last. Do you realize that? They don't even know what it's like. They have to show them highlights from a VHS of the last time Tennessee beat Florida. Give me the Gators plus 3.5. The streak must be broken before I believe the streak is broke. I love Florida plus 3.5 here.
See, doubting Thomas. Just terrible people. We got Miss Terry's bath.
Even Miss Terry's bath. It's acceptance, he says.
He refuses to accept that this year is finally the year it all becomes different. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've seen the newest of the collection.
Oh, yeah.
We have a Tennessee helmet. Someone was kind enough to go ahead and say, you know what? Rocky Top has got to be very well on display this week. Got to make sure that we give him some love. So we are halfway done because Tennessee, we are rocking with Tennessee for our last bet. They will end the streak. Narratives are meant to be broken. More specifically, in a year in college football where Vanderbilt could potentially be in the college football playoff, Oklahoma with still a mundane offense is the better team than Texas, despite losing in Red River. Alabama once again going into the final week of the season with a shot to maybe be in the college football playoff. All things, crazier things have happened. Guess what? Tennessee, we're rocking with you. They're going to get the cover. They're going to win by double digits in the Swamp. It will be a new day and age. And those kids that you're talking about, the ones that never got to see Tennessee win a football game down in the Swamp, they will be a part of history because they'll be able to tell their kids they were the ones to break the streak.
I'll tell you this, Bear, for all the criticism that Josh Heupel got after the Oklahoma game, if he can win this one, man, I think Tennessee fans, it'll be an extra level of gratitude to Josh Heupel for finally ending that. By the way, no takebacks, DGD, because he says, don't make me send that UGA midsize Speed Flex helmet. Got to one-up the SEC. A dog's helmet would look good up there.
Listen.
But hey, we're on Operation Make Bear put in another shelf. A shelf. He's already got. You got to move it down one.
I know we're going to. Believe me.
I think you gotta get the behind the.
It's a project that is going to happen very soon. But there's
Y'all
one more.
Him another helmet. He didn't have a choice.
So there's one more that is coming this week. I've talked to the person.
It'll fit on that.
Yep. It will slide all the way down to the end. And all the way down to the end, there's room for one more, which means
you'll go 8 and 8. Yeah.
8.
8 and 8.
I'm telling you, you want to message me? I would gladly take a Georgia helmet. I'm in the works of potentially getting an Auburn helmet. I have a friend that might want to go ahead and throw me an LSU helmet. We're waiting. So we're getting close to the finish line. Where's my Vandy helmet? That's all I'm asking for. I have given nothing but love and appreciation.
I know. I gotta get on these Vandy folks.
How the hell have they not sent me? How is that?
And I know a guy that works at Vandy. I'll hook you
up.
Jim? I've got a damn full-sized helmet in here, and you ain't even got the mid-size.
Exactly.
I got you.
Where's the speed? That's it.
Miss Terry's bathwater says, Cole, you fool, you damn fool.
Of course.
You've jinxed us, Cole.
Oh, he hates it so much, but you know what? He can't even stand it.
J Pat says no jinx. We don't have a curse. Your battered Vol syndrome is strong. So we got battered Vol syndrome. We got battered Aggie syndrome. Everybody's got a battered something syndrome, I guess. I don't know.
part of the world of college football we know in the SEC.
J-Pat, he's already got a Tennessee helmet, but yeah.
You want to send me a dark mode one? I'll throw it on the third.
Dude, the dark mode would hit. It would.
I'll throw it on the third shelf up there. There we go. Yeah. Problem solved.
You need a shelf for alternates. Rick, okay, friends in the chat, can I donate for the helmets?
Exactly.
See, now what have you started, Bear? What have you started?
A race to the finish line to close out 2025 with all 16 helmets sitting on top of my shelf.
Christmas is around the corner. So
I was like, listen, the Bear does not need much. He has everything that he needs. Just 8 more helmets, and then he's happy.
That's it. He's a simple man. All right, let me get to my last pick, Bear. This is one that this takes me back to, I think it was week 1 of the season when Georgia played Marshall, I believe.
Week 1.
Because I'm going with Charlotte, UNC Charlotte, the Niners, to go into Athens and cover the 43.5. Bear, call me a madman. Call me crazy, but do you remember the stat from week 1? Kirby Smart, as a 38-point or more favorite, going into that game, I believe was 0-18. So now he is 0-19 against the spread as a 38-point or more favorite. And Georgia fans agree with me. And they know when I say this, not an indictment on Georgia. It's just not how Kirby rolls. They will win this game. They will dominate this game, but they will also empty the bench. They will run the football. They don't care about running it up on people. They'll win this game 48-7. And guess what? I know.
Oh my God.
Our guy Rick is going crazy in the chat.
I don't even know what to say at this one.
All right, Rick. Bear, go get those damn helmets.
Yeah.
Go get the damn helmets. Straight up. Go get the damn helmets. All right, Rick. All right.
Wow.
I feel like we should play the war hymn right now. The Aggie war hymn just for Rick. I mean, geez, man. Rick, appreciate it, brother. Appreciate the love. Merry Christmas. 'Tis the season. It is officially here. Bear's going to get those 8. He's going to have those 8 helmets. He's going to have them stacked where it's behind him to where we got to get the shelves moved down a little bit. But he's going to have the helmets. Hey, yeah, this is the oil money's kicked in, they said. The oil money has kicked in from A&M. Rick, we really appreciate it, man. Much love. Thank you so much. We really appreciate y'all. We'll keep sweet talking that. Yeah, just for Rick. Just
woo!
Attaboy.
There you go. Thank you,
Appreciate it, Rick. Anyway, Charlotte plus 43.5. Love it. I love the play. Kirby doesn't cover these spreads. Georgia will win. They'll win big. They won't cover 43.5. So there you go. There's our best bets. DGD says you made my ears start to bleed, by the way. So, yeah. Rick says, get some helmets. Aggie in the middle. Love the entrepreneur spirit. Hey, Rick, like I said, we appreciate it, brother. We appreciate it. Yeah, he's got to put it in the middle of the top because if he puts it in the middle of the next row, you won't be able to see it. So
bam, there you go. Right in the middle already.
There you go. There's the Aggie helmet right next to the Vol. So really good stuff. Our guy David Worley in the chat says gig him as well. Guys, those are our best bets. Tail us, fade us, whatever you want to do. But make sure that whatever you do it with our friends over at FanDuel because, of course, we are always brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Our best bets, of course, brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Guys, it's NBA tip-off week. FanDuel is your home for live betting. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel's got live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can combine your live bets in the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel's giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com/SECU to sign up today. Once again, FanDuel.com/SECU. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. And guys, of course, just really quick, you know they've got college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, MLB, whatever it is. They give us the ad read. They want us to push the NBA. But to let you all know, of course, you guys are college football fanatics. get in on college football. Bet college football. Bet these games that are happening all throughout the weekend, all throughout the rest of the season. You can still bet on Heisman, still bet on national championship. Do it with our friends at FanDuel over at FanDuel.com/SECU. And we can't say thank you enough for the love and support because I get positive feedback all the time from our people, our FanDuel people specifically, of how great the engagement and the support is. And because of that, we're in discussions right now with FanDuel for 2026. I really do appreciate it, guys. It means the absolute world to us. Helps keep what we do free. Helps put some food in the Bears bowl. I mean, it just helps get helmets on the shelf. Everything. So that being said, guys, all right, we locked in some bets. Let's lock in some picks. Once again, many are calling this Cupcake Saturday. We don't give a damn. It's an opportunity to talk ball and give our picks. Without further ado, here we go. And as you can notice, right off the jump, there's a lot of agreement this week. Again, because of the slate, there's going to be a lot of agreement. There's one disagreement that I'm very excited to get into. I come in this week 89-20. Bear is 88-21. And again, there is one head-to-head matchup that, very interestingly enough, if it goes the way of the Bear, could take us into the final weekend of the season all knotted up.
Yep.
And rivalry weekend could decide it, who comes out on top for the season pick'em. And maybe the SEC title game will play into this as well, but that will probably decide it. Either way, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. We will start with those Texas A&M Aggies, Rick and the rest of the gang. Gig 'em, undefeated going in, putting that 10-0 perfect record on the line against the Samford Bulldogs. This is an 11 a.m. kickoff at Kyle Field. Bear, Texas A&M is a 54.5 point favorite in this game. 54.5. You and I both going Aggies. Safe to say it's the Aggies. We're both going A&M. We both have A&M going into the rivalry game against Texas 11-0. A&M will have no problem here.
Yeah, I just want to throw this up here. Doors, I'm going to message you in about 5 minutes on Twitter. So just thank you. Thank you,
man.
Because Diego Pavia means the world to me. Here's the bottom line. I will turn on this game when I start to see the backups come on in because I want to see what the future of Texas A&M looks like going into 2026 when all these guys are going off to the pros. What are we going to see from the new up-and-comers? So that's where I'll start paying attention to what's going on ESPN Plus or SEC Network Plus or College Football, ESPN, CU Plus, or whatever channel it's going to be on ESPN that I have to pay for, regardless.
ESPN de Ocho, yeah,
like midway through the fourth quarter, I'll tune in and I'll start looking at what Miles O'Neal and this rushing attack looks like. Then we'll pay attention.
It's an empty the bench game for sure. I wonder how much the starters play. To be honest with you, I mean, what do you think? A half, a quarter?
I would go up until they start doing a running clock in the second half. That'd probably be fair.
Yeah, I think so. I would go a half. I doubt they play much more than that. Bear, let's go to the game. Again, one of our few conference games, Oklahoma and Missouri. This game taking place in Norman. You might recall Mizzou got the big win last year. That did not sit well with the folks in Norman. OU is a 7.5 point favorite. The over-under is now, by the way, at 41.5. You and I both going with Boomer Sooner. The one thing that I'm curious about, number one, two things. Bo Pabula, supposed to play. Number two, I've mentioned it all week. If Oklahoma doesn't force the turnovers at the rate at which they've been doing and they play this thing in an even turnover margin, what does it look like? I'm still feel confident going Oklahoma. You do as well.
I think the big question is going to be is, can this be a game to where you beat Oklahoma at its best advantage, which is they have the number one run defense in the SEC. You have the number one running offense in the SEC. Who comes out on top? At this point, it's very hard not to trust the Sooner Tsunami. Some people are calling it the Sooner Typhoon. Whatever it is, it's the great defensive line of the Crimson Wall that has dominated this season. It's going to slow down Ahmad Hardy enough to be able to win this football game.
Our guy, Miss Terry's Bathwater Pribs is playing. Seems a bit soon. That is the report from Mizzou, folks. Again, it's Wednesday, so things could change, but it does sound like, from what I've seen, he's going to give it a go. I don't disagree with you that it's a little bit soon, but whatever. Sounds like he is going to give it a go. I mean, that's, is what it is.
By the
All
way,
right,
right now, Doors,
yeah.
give me a follow on Twitter at Mr. Cole Thompson so we can work this out. Sincerely. Thank you.
Yes. And by the way, our guy, Miss Terry's Bathwater said, holy shit, a Vandy fan.
They exist. They're fantastic people.
They do exist. They
are wonderful individuals.
Our guys at the door report and would be able to do what they do if they didn't have an audience. Let's put it that way. So, let's go to the game in Athens. Georgia taking on Charlotte. Again, they are 43.5-point favorites. Over-under is set at 53.5. You and I both going with the dogs. Georgia wins. Like I said, I think Charlotte covers, but this is going to be a bludgeoning by Georgia, as you would expect.
I will be watching this game for all of 1 minute. That's about it. Sorry. I don't need to learn anything. The next I'm going to be too busy paying attention to Pitt and Georgia Tech to figure out how is Georgia Tech going to be able to beat Georgia next week out in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like that's what I'm going to be worried about at this point. That's why I care.
Very fair. Bear, let's go to the game in Tuscaloosa. The Alabama Crimson Tide take on Eastern Illinois. There is no spread on this game. There is no total. And there is no reason for concern if you are a fan of Alabama, because Alabama is going to roll in this one. Roll damn Tide, says yours truly and Cole the Bear Thompson.
Yeah. There's not really much of a concern. In fact, I would say maybe we see quarterback controversy just a little bit with Keelan Russell balling against Eastern Illinois. Because I will tell you right now, there will be an Alabama fan or 2 or 7 or 100,000 that will say, you put Keelan Russell in that game over Ty Simpson despite him being a Heisman finalist. We win against Oklahoma. He just beat Eastern Illinois. Someone will come up with that scenario. I promise you.
Bear, quick side note. There is an early spread already on Alabama-Auburn. Would you like to guess what it is?
6.5 Alabama.
5.5.
Okay.
Damn. We're going to have fun talking about that one.
No, we're not. No, we are not. We'll pretend that we will.
There was a meme I saw. I don't know what the show is. It's a weird show, but it was a video on Instagram, and it was showed the 6:30 kickoff at Jordan Hare. He's like, hey, can I talk to you a second? He pulls him aside. He's like, we are so fucked. That's how Bama fans feel right now.
Yep.
Listen, Bama fans, if you can get in their head, they are already having nightmares about next weekend. That being said, let's go to the game, the team they'll be playing, by the way. On the Plains, Auburn takes on the Mercer Bears. Shout out to my folks that I know from Mercer. I got some buddies that went to Mercer, by the way. Auburn is a 27.5-point favorite. Over-under set at 51.5. Bear, you and I are both going with the Tigers, War Eagle, to get the win.
If there ever was a moment, just humor me, and this is not me as a Bama grad coming after that. If there ever was a moment, just to set the stakes even higher, for Auburn to make this such an upset, lose to Mercer, beat Alabama.
It'd be peak Auburn.
It would be peak Auburn. Because a part of me is also sitting here and saying, I think Auburn wants to hire DJ Durkin. I'm not saying that they really do. I'm saying that there are some boosters. They need to be able to get the backing. They don't have that right now. You're 0-1 with DJ Durkin as your head coach. You got to win one. You win the Iron Bowl, it's a lot easier to convince people. This is a way to completely shut them out entirely. But if you win the Iron Bowl, you pull them right back in. Have the flair for theatrics at this point.
Bear, side note, our guy Rick comments, if y'all want to attend the Texas game, I'll provide a great ticket. I'll be serving desserts for my grandbabies. Bear, what are you doing that weekend of Texas A&M?
Working on Saturday morning, but that's it.
Can you get to Austin is the question.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get in contact with Rick somehow. Because I can tell you what.
Rick, shoot us an email, secunfiltered@gmail.com, or shoot us a DM or something.
Yeah, because if I could take my wife, that would be a great day for us to spend out in Austin.
Be a great day. Not too far from Houston.
Nope.
Not that
I
far.
can make a day trip out of it.
Rick, secunfiltered@gmail.com or any DM on any platform would be great.
Now, to be fair, Rick, I'm not wearing colors of either team. I will be going in an SEC unfiltered, just plain shirt.
It'd be perfect. Yeah,
I'll be Switzerland that day because if I
Yeah.
can't afford to lose anything.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. Bear, let's go to the game taking place in Nashville. Another conference game. Again, one of the few taking place this weekend. But Vanderbilt and Kentucky will do battle. Who'd have thunk? Kentucky, one of the hottest teams in the conference. Vandy, of course, chasing down a playoff. Vandy's a 9.5-point favorite. The over-under is set at 52.5. You and I are both going with the Doors. And maybe the most important detail I didn't mention, it is the final home game of Diego Pavia's glorious Commodore career. We say no way that Diego goes down in his last home game.
No way. No. Listen, and I think that Kentucky's done a good job to where now we're having legit conversations on Mark Stoops' status long-term. What is it looking like going into 2026? You made a bold prediction and said Cutter Boley, all-conference quarterback in 2026. Like, we're very much looking at Kentucky and saying things are a little bit different. They really are. But Diego Pavia ain't losing his last home game. Like, if this game was in Lexington, I'd feel a lot more confident about saying, yeah, this could be an upset. It ain't going to be an upset, especially when it comes to this matchup at all.
Yeah, there's just no way Diego Pavia loses his last home game. And Kentucky's red hot, and I think they very well could cover. If I had to go one with the other, I'd probably go Kentucky plus 9.5. But I love Vandy here.
Yeah.
Here, let's go to the game that yours truly will be at this weekend. We are flying out to Austin, Texas tomorrow night. I'll get there late. Got a full day planned on, well, at least early in the day. Planned on Friday. Like I mentioned, I'm very excited. I've never been to Matt's El Rancho. Going to hit that for lunch. Certainly got to hit Terry Black's. And from there on, we're off and running. When it comes to the game, though, the Hogs are coming to town. This is an underrated, I say, rivalry. I think Arkansas probably considers it more of a rivalry than Texas does. Either way, there's some hatred here in this game. Texas is an 8.5-point favorite. The over-under set at 57.5. You and I both going with the Horns. Of course, I'm taking the Hogs to cover. You're taking Horns to cover. Either way, we both like Texas to bounce back from the loss to Georgia and get the win, and Arkansas to stay defeated in SEC play.
Yeah, don't spend a lot of time on this. I've already put out and extinguished the drunk 2 a.m. cigarette that has Taylor Green. I believe that Texas will find its way back to at least prominence. It's going to be ugly for the first half. They pull away in the second half. Longhorns don't let me down and cover the spread.
Bear, if I got to be totally honest, I mean, I'm excited for the game. Who knows? This could be a wacky game, but I'm excited to go to Austin. I mean, if I'm being totally honest, hey, that's more of a compliment to you all, the Texas fans. I'm coming because of you all. I'm not even really coming because of the game necessarily. Although, again, I'll go to the game, be excited for the game, but it's some weekends you're more excited for the city and the tailgate and the people. Some weekends you're more excited for the game. Some weekends it's equal. I'm definitely more excited for the people and the tailgate and the city. And who knows? Maybe we get a thriller and, you know, it's a down to the wire. Texas fans certainly don't want that. But, yeah, I do think the Horns win as well. I think Arkansas is kind of a lost cause at this point, Bear. But we'll see. We'll see if they've got one last surge before they go for broke against Mizzou in the final weekend trying to get a win. Bear, yeah, that'll be their last chance, certainly. Bear, let's go to the game in Columbia, South Carolina. Now, you talk about a place where the vibes are low. Columbia, South Carolina is one of them. After losing the game to Texas A&M, which they did in just historic fashion, 1-286 is the number. That's all you need to know. If you know, you know. Gamecocks are taking on another war chicken, by the way, Bear. It's the Chanticleers. Did you know, by the way, that Coastal Carolina used to be a sister school of South Carolina? You know what I'm talking about, right? It was like a branch of the school. Used to be a sister school, and they became their own thing in the 90s at some point. Either way, there's been some fun battles over the year. I don't think Coastal, I'm pretty sure, has never beaten them in football. I'm almost positive. You and I both going with the Gamecocks. South Carolina's a 23.5 point favorite. Over under set at 50.5. You're taking the under. I'm taking Coastal to cover. There, if you think craziness is going to ensue, plus 1,500, you can get Coastal Carolina on the money line. I think here's the thing. Again, it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems. It's not. South Carolina's bad. They're not lose to Coastal bad. I don't think they're that bad, but there's going to be some tense moments early on. I don't doubt that at all.
If somehow, some way, Coastal Carolina goes into Willie B and they win this football game,
He's done. That's his last.
I don't
game.
think that there's a way to defend it. I don't. I think that's the problem. It's like, yeah, you could say that you like Beamer. You can say that you want to give him more time. Guys, you can't lose to Coastal and then say he's the right guy after blowing a 28-point lead. You just can't. It does that. Like, that's the nature of the beast. You can lose to Coastal in a lost season, but beat Texas A&M, or you can lose Texas A&M and beat the crap out of Coastal, but you can't do both. Like you can't lose to both and then say, "Yep, we're good. Run it back next year." Sorry.
Yeah, no, listen, people I've talked to, if they lose to Coastal, I do think he is. It may not happen like right after the game, but I think it will happen in the season. He would be out at South Carolina. Again, I don't think it happens. You don't think it happens. Gamecocks, we expect to get the win. Barry, let's go to the game in the Swamp. You could argue this is the game of the weekend in the SEC. It's Florida, it's Tennessee, it's Gators without a head coach. Florida is a 3.5 point underdog. Tennessee, the favorite, of course, 3.5. Over-under set at 57.5. Bear, what I wanted to ask you is, as I look at the graphic, do you feel lonely on that side of the page over there? You just kind of, it's just you, just you just hanging out by yourself over there.
No, you know what I do? I feel like Leonidas in 300 when I know that I'm going to be joining my brothers in Valhalla as the arrows come flying down. I see all of those logos just looking at me right down there, and they're ready to fire it into my face. And I'm just like, come take me to the promised land as I ride victorious with Tennessee. That's what I feel like sitting on that side of the bracket.
Yeah, I'm going Gators. You're going Vols. I am banking on the voodoo and the hex that is the Swamp on Tennessee. I am. And you are. Listen, Tennessee's not a bad pick. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. But hell, I go back to 2 years ago when I thought Tennessee was going to go into the Swamp and just absolutely demolish Florida, and they got killed themselves. So nothing's a guarantee in this game. Nothing's a guarantee. Fully expect it to be a strange night down in the Swamp. We'll see. I mean, hey, our guy Mysterious Bathwater says you're like let's see. Says you're like Jon Snow fighting Ramsay's army.
Yep. It is the Battle of the Bastards, and I am standing there waiting while while Ramsay Bolton is ready to come ahead and attack. But all the people that I know, including Tormund Giantsbane and his troop, are following right behind and ready to go ahead and take me into the place of victory. Listen, it's a lost season for Tennessee because you're not going to the college football playoff. You know what's going to solve a lot of those issues when it comes to Josh Heupel? Ending a streak that hasn't been able to be accomplished in over 2 decades. Like, that's a way to end your year on such a right note. I think that's going to be the reason why they end up winning this football game. They understand that there's got to be something that we can look to that is a great stepping stone in a way that we feel like that we won the year. This is how you win the year.
I just love Miss Terry's Bathwater's comments because you can tell this is a Vol that really has been put through the ringer. He says everything points to UT, so you know that we're going to shit the bed.
Yep. He gets it.
Tennessee fans have the same PTSD in the Swamp that like Bama fans have in Auburn, and they've won less at the place. You know what I mean? Like they have way more PTSD actually, but it's similar. It's similar to what Bama has at Jordan-Hare. Anyways, I'm going Gators. Bears going Tennessee. This is going to be probably the most fun game of the day to watch. Let's be totally honest. I'm fascinated by what happens in this one. Fully expect something nonsensical to take place. Bear, final game on the slate. We got the LSU Tigers taking on Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers come in. LSU's a 21.5 point favorite. The over-under is set at 48.5. You and I are both going LSU. And I got to be honest with you. But I'll tell you this. Can I predict something? I don't think anybody's showing up this fucking game. I don't think anybody's showing up this game. I really don't. Dude, I love LSU fans, but man, I'm telling you, when they're done, they're done. And that stadium holds 100,000. They might put 70,000 in that building. Did you see the Arkansas crowd?
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad, dude. That's a conference game. The battle for the Golden Boot. Like, when LSU's done, they are done. And I don't know what they go do. I don't know what they're doing. They're in the swamp somewhere. They're just cooking out. They're drinking. I don't know what they're doing.
I'll tell you what my favorite thing is right now. They don't even have basketball to look forward to.
No.
And then if it is, it's women's basketball with Kim Mulkey. We love us some Kim Mulkey, or we hate us some Kim Mulkey, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. I don't really care. Doesn't bother me either way. But like, they ain't got nothing out there right now.
I mean, LSU's going to win. We're both picking LSU to win. Yeah. I don't doubt it. What's crazy, Bear, too, is that this is senior day or whatever?
Senior night.
Senior night. Yeah, it is a night game, York, which hilarious. LSU gets the 6:45 Central game for Western Kentucky because it's LSU, of course. It sounds like Garrett Nussmeier may not even play in his senior night. So
who's not playing?
Yeah.
He ain't playing.
I think he's done too. Really, truly. I think it'll be the Michael Van Buren show, which that'll be good for LSU for the future, honestly. But yeah, interestingly enough, Garrett Nussmeier does seem like he will not play. But LSU is going to get the win. Will it be sloppy? Will it be ugly? Probably. But, that's just kind of LSU right now. They're more worried about who the next head football coach is going to be and getting that NIL money together and that contract ready to be signed. So, anyways. Guys, those are our picks. Week number 13. Pick 'em officially in the books. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, guys, full breakdown of these games. Not all of them, obviously, but the big ones all across our YouTube, all across podcasts. Go check them out. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your predictions as well. Do you think any big upsets? Let me ask you this, Bear. Of the non-conference games, which game, if you think there's going to be a big upset pulled, which one's most likely? Do I know where you're going here?
I think so. Where do you think I'm going?
I think you're going Coastal.
No, I'm going Mercer.
Oh, gosh.
Deuce Knight making his first start on
Is
the
it Deuce Knight?
Deuce Knight starting this game.
Oh, my goodness.
Because they're trying to save the eligibility.
That could be bad. That could be bad.
Why not?
Great or awful. It's either going to be great or it's going to be awful.
Why not? I'm never beating the allegations that apparently I hate Auburn. So Mercer, go with it. And then they beat Alabama next week.
I'd probably go Coastal, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's the right pick, but still.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, Mercer's played Auburn pretty well, I think, in the past. I think at least once they played them decently well. So.
Here's
like I said, I got a lot of Mercer friends that they would just go ballistic if that were to happen.
Here's my thing. I do not want to hear from a single Alabama fan next week if they were to lose to Mercer. Oh, well, it's at Jordan-Hare. I don't want to hear it. Mercer went in there and did it.
At Jordan-Hare, yeah.
Mercer did it. You can do it. If you can't do it, you don't belong in the playoff. I'm sorry. That's it.
I'm just excited to hear Bear talk about the voodoo shaman man about 15 times next week.
Listen, I've already written down jokes. I've had the stories from the past to tell them, listen, we need to get together and provide the folk tales for SEC Unfiltered on how we know that his voodoo magic is seeping into the soils and ready to make its long-awaited debut of 2025. So don't worry, it's going to be talked about a lot next week.
Bear, that being said, the next time we're going to be live is essentially into next week for Sunday Fun Day. And I will tell you this, I'm not rushing through this weekend. I promise I'm not. I'm excited for it. But it is also exciting, Bear. We're on the verge of, some people argue, and we'll have this debate next week, the best weekend of the college football season. I mean, some people would argue it's a great weekend. It's a great rivalry weekend is one of the best. It ranks, it's top 3 weekends, I think. It's top 3 weekends.
Yeah, I'd go with that. That's fair.
It's somewhere in the mix of the first weekend of the season, rivalry weekend, and like that first weekend of October. is one of the best. Like that first or second weekend where it's just like a stacked slate of games, the weather's starting to kind of break a little bit. That's one of the best weekends of the season, no doubt, too. So, anyways, we can talk more about that next week. Guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We really appreciate you all tuning in. Y'all are the absolute best. Can't say thank you enough. This is so much fun, man. It's been a great season, been a lot of fun. Again, it's not over yet, but week number 13 upon us. We'll be in Austin, Texas. Make sure you're a Texas fan. You're in the city. You hit us up. You let us know. We'd love to link up with you. That being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and put a pin on it. Make sure, as always, you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Check us out where we get your podcasts all across your favorite social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. Sandman, we'll see you soon in Austin, by the way. It's good to hear from you in the chat. As for my friend, Cole the Bear Thompson, he's one of the very best in the business. Does a great job, works his tail off. He'll have his happy hour on Friday. Tier rankings are incoming. Reactions are incoming. Sunday fun days around the corner. Content bleeding out of the eyeballs. Y'all already know the drill. And I'm Chris Phillips, as always. Guys, thank you all so much. Hey, have a great weekend. Enjoy week number 13. We'll see you this weekend in Austin, Texas. Cheers.